I'm Autumn, and welcome to Cast Member Spotlight. For those who do not know who you are, would you mind introducing yourself and telling everyone who you play?
Yes. Hi, I'm Dillon Klena, and I play Dimitri in Anastasia the musical.
Woo! Yes! Oh my gosh! You're like, yes!
Exciting.
Okay, I did a lot of research.
Okay, great.
So
Cool,
from
cool.
Starry
Yeah.
to Rent
Oh boy.
to Tangled, the online
Oh
show
my
that
goodness.
you did, to
So
now
random.
Anastasia.
Wow.
Like, what has your journey from past,
Haha.
to present looked like for you?
I started performing at a very young age. I performed since I was 3 years old. So I've kind of just been immersed in the arts and theater especially. And I performed throughout Southern California most of my childhood in children's theater. And then I went to college at Cal State Fullerton, where I during that time I got to play Jack Kelly in Newsies for the first time, and that kind of was, a show that really stood with me throughout my, my early 20s, and it was the show that I consistently did throughout my upbringing and life. So that's the only show where I feel like I have been in different places of my life playing it. So every time that I've re-entered that space, it's been a different journey and a fulfilling one. And so I love that. And then I was on tour with a show called Jagged Little Pill for 2 years.
Yes.
And we were on the national tour of that. And so we traveled around the country performing that. And it was amazing. What a great show and a great time. And during a time where I think the world needed that type of show. And then I did an out of town of a new musical called Rutka, which was about the Holocaust and about kids trying to, stand up for their beliefs during that crazy time. And then I did Rent at the Cape Playhouse, which was pretty exciting. I love that show, and so getting to be a part of that, and that was my first show. Moving to New York, that was the first show that I was a part of when I moved. So, and that show takes place in New York, and it's a bunch of like middle-aged or people in their mid-20s, navigating through life and living that, story through actually living that in my real life was kind of, amazing. And once you do Rent, it really changes your life and changes your outlook on theater, and it gave me such a respect for the arts in a new way. And now we're here. Now we're here doing Anastasia, which I never thought I would be Dimitri in Anastasia.
Really?
Never.
You're like, no, someone else has already done
Yes.
it.
Well,
I was like, I'm not gonna bring him up. I'm like, we're not bringing him up.
No.
Like,
It's okay.
He's already done it.
No,
I'm like,
it's okay.
I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah, but that's been
How does
such
it
a fun
feel
thing.
doing that?
I mean,
have you gotten any advice?
I mean, honestly, not really. I feel like I've, with my brother played Dimitri in Anastasia on Broadway, and so, watching that journey for my brother kind of happen, and watching the different versions of the show take place, and watching him do it on Broadway, and then, I just never thought that I would be I never thought when I watched it that I would ever get to play it.
Yeah.
And it's been a fulfilling journey for me of, discovering my adulthood in a role. I'm in this transitional age of life where I'm kind of growing out of an age group and entering a new age group as just like a performer. And so to come into Anastasia and, find my adult voice is kind of very fulfilling, and it's been such a blast. I love it.
I think you already answered this question, but what production has really shaped you?
Oh my goodness. I think honestly, I look at videos on like my TikTok, like from like years ago.
Yeah.
Before I went on tour, I feel like tour really changes people, and really, I spent 2 birthdays on the road. So getting to, I don't know, there's just something about that, the journey of traveling on your own for the first time, understanding life from a different perspective. And, I really feel like that's where my, journey in theater especially kind of took off, and kind of, I felt like I was a part of something different and new. So it was pretty great.
Is there like a moment when you knew like this would be your career? Like you were like,
Yes.
this is going to be it for me. I don't want to do anything else. This is my career now.
Yeah. So when I was bullied in middle school. Pretty not bad, but pretty bad. And then in my 9th grade of high school, we there was a talent show, and I actually won the talent show at my school. Sang a song, sang "I Won't Give Up" by Jason Mraz. It's pretty great. And then the next day, I had to perform in front of the whole student body at a rally, and that was the first time where I actually like showcased what I could do in front of a huge audience like that, in front of my peers and the people that bullied me. And from that day on, I wasn't bullied anymore. And so I feel like it kind of instilled the thought of arts has the ability to change people's minds and help people grow and go through things, and you know, make them feel like they can think they can you know, it pushes boundaries of people's minds. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, like if I could just do that with one song, imagine what you could do that with the whole show. Imagine what you could do just in life if you just keep pushing through theater. And so that's kind of why I do it, is because it changes people's lives. Like Jagged Little Pill changed people's lives, man. Like we went to so many places in the Deep South for that show. And the show is very progressive. It deals with a lot of topics that are, you know, in some parts of the country not well respected. And so to bring that show there to people who need to hear it, like that's the whole point of why I love to do theater, is because, you know, all it takes is just a person to see themselves on that stage, and that just changes their whole life, you know? And that's the big thing that I love with theater, is just the ability to, you know, open people's minds and change their, you know, whole outlook.
Speaking of songs and shows
Yeah.
and perspectives,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to bring this up.
Go for it.
You are a songwriter yourself.
Oh
You
my
have
God,
your own
stop.
album.
Oh,
I listened
barely.
to your song.
Oh, I just have a couple
You have a couple
I have a couple.
stuff.
I have a couple
No,
things.
they're very good. They're
Thank you.
very good. What
Thanks.
inspired your songs? that
Oh
you wrote? 'Cause
God,
they
you
were,
know.
that first one.
Which one?
The first one where you were singing about, I think it was like a broken heart. and
Oh,
going through that.
Unsaid? Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
What
well,
inspired
I
you
mean,
to
honestly,
do that?
like, I have been through some pretty interesting relationships and different times of my life. And
so this was about a past love.
but the
love,
thing is like with
yes.
my music, they're not about someone. They're all just about
It's about a story.
my experience in like just love itself. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'll hook onto a feeling, and then from that I'm flushed with all these memories from just a lot of people and life, and so I kind of put them into fruition, but without specifics. Like everyone's like, oh, I know who that song's about.
I know who that.
And I'm like,
who's
no,
like, tell me about who it is. I'm
No.
like, no, I want to hear like the story behind
well,
it.
yeah, but I mean, like it's not about
yeah.
specific people. It's more about
It's
specific
about
feelings.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
what those can do. And so I start with a feeling, and then it kind of leads to
Yeah.
a song. And it's for me, it's like a journal for me. You know, I don't do it to like showcase it. I don't really want it out. It's more for me and you know, my self-expression, and I'll put out things here and there just for fun.
Yeah,
just to see how it goes.
See how it goes.
But,
I mean, that was
like,
from 2020. It's been 6 years.
I know.
It's been 6 years.
You know, it's coming. I'm always making stuff.
I want another
always
album.
making stuff.
If there is no fans of your music, I am dead.
Dilly K.
I'm like, I am dead. I
Dilly
am gone.
K. Reign supreme.
I want one.
Okay.
2026. I want an
Okay.
album.
Okay, it'll happen. It'll happen for sure.
Now, going back into Anastasia,
Yes.
is there a scene or a song from the musical that you especially love or just want audience members to just like take in?
I mean, Lena is so wonderful. Like everything that she sings, everything that she does is just so captivating, and I think like that is the epitome of what the show's about. Dimitri has great songs. Dimitri has great songs, but they're not the most fun for me to do. I really work hard on that stage. So for me, I'm like in my head the whole time, like with just acting it all. So sometimes it just feels like a blur to me, those moments. But another really great moment for me is I love the train sequence. I feel like that's the only time, not the only time, but I feel like that's one of the times in the show where me, Peyton, and Lena, I feel like we connect really well. And also like even the beginning back too with Paris Holds the Key, like that is just such a fun number. And it's not like, it's just that the camaraderie of the cast during that song, I feel like, is what makes it so special. And then honestly, I love Crowd of Thousands. I love that whole scene. I love that, what the message is of that. I get chills every time we do it because it's like, but I'm seeing it from a different perspective because I've seen it like my whole life. My like half of my life I've seen it in a different way. And so now being able to be a part of like iconic songs and an iconic show and getting to do that has been just a dream. I'm so thankful to have this experience. It's been great.
Yeah, you know the song that gets me every single time, that just like gives me chills every single time. Stay I Pray You.
Stay I Pray You
that
is pretty
song
awesome.
Is so good, and I relate to it so much. I was a military child, so I was used to leaving everything behind and going from place to place and starting over again. So that song really like resonates with me on the sense of like, oh, they're packing up everything they had, going from this place that they've been for so long into new territory and just being terrified of the whole situation. Yeah. And it's like, there's so many songs in the scene. And like, as a huge Anastasia fan, when I was first heard that they were doing a Broadway version of it and they were adding new songs, I was like, oh no. Because how can you take something so amazing and add even more amazing songs to it? But surprisingly, all of my favorite songs are not from the original movie.
That's really cool.
They're not.
That's pretty cool.
So do you have like top 3 favorite songs from the musical?
Top 3 favorite songs? Okay.
If you could choose.
Okay. I love Everything to Win. I think that is an amazing written song. But it's like, because it's like a singing, it's like a song, it's a, because most of the songs that Dimitri sings are like more like classical musical theater, and that song I feel like is just like an acting song where he can just, you know, where you're let into a specific part of his brain that you don't really get to see throughout the entire show. You see his vulnerable side during that number. And I also love Go From There. Come on, how can we not?
Oh my gosh.
How can we not? And then Crowd of Thousands. I think that, I mean, it's pretty great. I mean, the show has some pretty great songs.
So many bangers.
Glenn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty knew what they were doing.
They knew exactly what they were doing when they were adding new songs. They were like, we're going to add songs, and they're all going to be songs that you cannot skip.
Oh yeah, no,
absolutely not.
Yeah, and even like Still is pretty great.
Yeah,
there's just a lot of great, like, I mean, come on, they wrote Seussical.
They wrote Seussical. I'm like, I don't want to hear any Seussical hate in the comments. Seussical is so good.
Seussical the musical is one of the best shows ever written. Okay.
Yes. My top 3. Personally,
yes, what are your
top 3? Okay, so I did say Stay I Pray You.
Great.
Number 1. And then second one, Reprise, actually. The Neva Flows Reprise at the very end.
Yes.
It just
get the chills.
Gives the chills every time. I've seen some slime tutorials of it because I can't go to New York. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay,
I'm sorry. There's not many
Ramin
theaters.
is incredible.
Ramin, I've seen so many different versions of how that ending is done with the just like the way that they do it is so interesting, and I love that song. And then third is going to be oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the name of the song? You literally just said it too. Train Song.
Oh, we go from there.
Go from there. There we go. That's
so good.
Top 3. Absolutely.
It's so great.
Yeah, so great.
Yeah.
But like, to close it out, who has influenced you the most as a performer? And it could be anyone. It could be a person in your life.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly,
all of them.
There's a couple of things, like people throughout my life where I've just like latched onto and kind of like sparked why I wanted to do this. Of course, my brother, like I think he's such a huge inspiration to me, just to like watch his journey and watch his career kind of unfold. And especially right now with like everything that's going on with him and his new life that he's, you know, starting right now with just, you know, his family and his career, everything. It's just been really great to watch and, you know, get to be a part of it as well and see, you know, how he's navigating through that. So it's been really great. But then I also, when I was younger, I saw a production of Elephant Man with Bradley Cooper in New York. And I was like 9 or 10, I want to say. And honestly, like that show is what made me want to become an actor, because I was like, dang, like I want to do that. And so that's always been like a constant through line with me is thinking about that. And yeah, and then there's always the greats. There's always like Jeremy Jordan, there's always like Gavin Creel. Like, that there's those people.
There's the greats.
The greats, So, I mean, it's just a culmination of a lot of things. And yeah. And then musically for me.
You like it musically.
I love I'm a huge fan of Post Malone.
Okay. I was not expecting
so
that.
random.
I was like, okay.
No. But there's just something about him and like what he does that's just so raw and so different, and the way that he can just jump from different genres and just do everything, and the kind of just like being yourself regardless of where you are, and that's what I think I latch onto is the authenticity of who he is as a person, and I try to bring that into every room because you can if you want put on like a facade, but it's important to be yourself and lead with that, and so I feel like he does that, and that's kind of that's what I aspire to be like.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's insane. I think like for me, because I also do perform, but it's crazy that we're here at the La Mirada Theater. Who inspired me the most was Kathy Rigby.
Oh my God, yes.
I saw her as Peter Pan 10 years ago.
Come on.
Here in the front row when I was a little 10-year-old, 12-year-old little girl. And my grandmother took me, and the moment she soared through the sky and threw pixie dust at me and it got all in my hair and my eyes, I was like, I want to fly.
Oh my gosh,
and
so fun.
That started everything for me and made me a subscriber here.
Nice.
So I've been a subscriber for 10
years.
Continuous years.
And you come see every show?
Every single show, every opening night. I am here, and now I'm interviewing people like you, getting to know their stories and share it with everyone else who wants to perform and get into it and see, like, because who knows who could be watching this, like a little kid who could be watching this and say, wow, I want to do what he's doing. So that's why I love to do these. So thank you so much for letting me interview you and have this conversation. Of course. Is there anything that's coming up for you that you would like to go ahead and share with everyone that you can, if you could?
Yeah, I guess.
If there's something you can share, because I know there's NDAs and stuff that you can't, like sometimes you can't say something. But what can you tell us if there is something that's coming up for you?
Well, I am doing something, but it's not in California. Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. This is going on all of everything. So anyone could be watching.
I'm going to be doing a production of Dear Evan Hansen about in like the first week of August, I want to say. Yes, first week of August. I'm gonna be Connor, and that's been a dream role for me ever since I was a kid, because I just auditioned for that show so many times, and I'm about to be an older person, so I'm ready to like do one more high school role and kind of move on.
One more before you take it on to the next one.
But also we have three more weekends of Anastasia. So please come check it out, because it's a blast and it's beautiful to watch. It's stunning to watch, and you won't be disappointed.